Parker won the fast match.
Let's be honest, you want to rent a car from someone who'll see you right. So here's a few reasons to put Omega Rental Cars top of your list. Do we have a modern fleet, all fully checked and ready to roll?
Yes, we do.
Do we offer keen prices, unlimited Ks, and free additional drivers?
Yes, you do.
And do we support New Zealand motorsport because we love cars? And maybe to look a bit flash.
Yes, you do.
There you go. Omega Rental Cars, your upfront and honest car rental company.
And a very good afternoon and welcome to Special Stage 7 of the International Rally of Whangarei, the final round of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. I'm joined once again by Dylan Turner. Did such a good job this morning, mate. You're allowed back in the van.
Can't believe it. Holy smoke, even got a free lunch.
Yeah, exactly. So we are Special Stage number 7. This is Crow's Nest. It's the same stage we were on this morning, repeated, but obviously a different junction. So this one, Dylan, you were telling us a bit about while we were off camera. So fast approach here.
Yeah, so it's all been uphill, so we're only a couple of Ks into the beginning of the stage, so it's all been uphill, so you get some good heat into your tyres nice and early. And then the little left-hander that we can't quite see at the moment, but the left-hander up the road, she's pretty tricky. It's probably a 6 left, and it's not quite flat, but you come over a crest to it, and if you get the crest wrong, it's not good. Then you're straight into another fast crest and downhill into a downhill braking area and into about a 4 right that's not quite a double apex, but it's a late apex, and then you're straight on the gas again. Gets real narrow. Sounds like a car's coming.
Yeah, we've got Hayden Paddon on the way, current rally leader, the Hyundai New Zealand i20 Rally 2.
So it's over that crest and straight into that. Look at that. Amazing.
Just phenomenal, isn't it?
Oh, incredible. Yeah. Look at this. Flat over the crest, no problem. Late brake. Way wide.
Tosses it well in. Keeps the nose on the apex as it tightens up there. And it just flicks away.
Not even a lift for that little kink. And then he's into about a 4 left that's beautifully cambered. But what a stunning approach from Hayden. You'd expect that. I just can't believe how late he was on the brakes. He was by the MRF sign, so if you can see that on the camera, that's where Hayden was braking.
Yeah, just phenomenal. I mean, we say it time and again, but the guy is world class. He is right on that level of WRC. It's just a privilege to be able to watch him.
It is. It's we're very lucky, you know. I mean, people don't understand how lucky we are to have a guy like Hayden driving the rest of us to try and get up to his level. You know, I mean, Hayden's done so much driving this year, which does definitely increase your speed and your confidence. But it's just great to see, you know, how much he's brought the championship forward. When you look at our times from sort of 6 or 7 years ago, you know, we're now on sort of Hayden's times where he was 5 or 6 years ago. So he's definitely pulled that field up through competitive personality that we've all got.
Yeah, absolutely. So Hayden currently a lead coming into the stage of 1:54.3 seconds over Ben Hunt. Now, the big news from the afternoon loop in Championship land is that Ben Hunt secured second in the power stage.
Yeah, he needs that. So obviously all he needs to do now really is finish in the place that he's in today. Here he comes, speak of the devil. And then, you know, if he finishes second tomorrow in the rally, he's done it.
Yes, absolutely. I think if he finishes second for the leg today, he can be as low as 4th for the leg tomorrow, as long as he still finishes second for the rally.
And here he comes up to that crest. Nice and flat over the crest. Oh, beautiful line. Look at that. Dips it in perfectly. Same line as Hayden. Oh, a little Scandi.
Nice. Little bit tight in there.
Turned in a teeny bit early, which kind of made that apex a bit hard.
Because it sort of almost opens up a little bit and then really tightens aggressively, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there's not a lot of room on the exit. You can't really see that with the camera shots that we've got, but you turn in too early and then you're just adjusting. But you could see he didn't even have to lift. It was just a small adjustment, you know, but perfectly over that crest. I can't believe actually how much grip there is. We went for a walk up that hill, and it's honestly like tarmac. The base is so solid. There was a couple of threats, a couple of spits of rain on our windscreen, but the rain's holding off. Maybe Marlow might start to come down, which is obviously the second to last stage, and then we've got Poe Island. Hopefully no rain for that.
Yeah, so we've seen some interesting results. Mike Young currently sitting third outright, of course, running in the FIA Asia Pacific Rally Championship. Dylan Thompson sitting third of the New Zealand Rally Championship cars and fourth outright. That's impressive. First time out in the white pointer. Absolutely amazing.
Look, we've always known Dylan's got a heap of pace in two-wheel drive cars. He showed us a little bit of pace in four-wheel drives, but you know, the white pointer's a good car, but it's not a great car. It's not AP4 spec, it's not R5 spec, so for him to be going where he is fantastic.
So we're hearing with Mike, there's just a subtle engine issue, nothing major. It's an issue when he backs off the throttle, so I guess that's extra incentive to stay up it. So he's just about to come into view of the camera shot here from special stage number 7. He and Amy Hudson.
So he's flat over the crest. tips it in nicely. Look at that. Beautiful. Good apex speed there. Should be flat over this crest. Yep, nicely
absolutely.
done. Same line. They've all been pretty. He's a little bit more narrow. Comes turning in. Yeah, got it nice in the end. Beautiful.
Yeah, just ran that one nice consistent line.
That was very nice.
Probably 2-3 inches just off that berm on the inside there. Because I guess the other thing too is if you get the berm on the inside, it
can unsettle the car.
The car. And
it's kind of not a big cut, that corner, and there's not too much to gain from cutting. You're always weighing that up when you're driving, and because the cars can do a pretty big cut, but if you unsettle the car, that unsprung weight just becomes a bit of an issue. You can end up out wide, and of course it's so narrow on the exit of this corner, you've got to have it nice and straight and tidy on the exit so you can get that power down and into that next corner.
So we're not expecting Robbie Stokes. Unfortunately, he rolled in Special Stage 3 this morning, not far short of where we were. Car's not horrifically damaged, but probably enough that I doubt we'll see it again this weekend. Did catch it on the trailer on the way back into town.
And of course quite sad because Robbie was really on it. What was he, third on stage 1, second I think he bumped up to in stage 2 and was really on it. Disappointing for him, disappointing for the team. But, that's rallying, isn't it? And when you're not quite on par, when you're not feeling well, a tiny inch wrong can turn into...
It's just that small lapse of concentration, which is so... it's easy enough to do when you're fit and healthy, and some of the things you see on the side of a stage can be quite distracting, and that's without, with both he and Ali have been very crook, not a lot of sleep.
Yeah, poor buggers.
Just absolutely depleted. So, but this is Emma Gilmour, Malcolm Reid, so they are sitting 4th of the New Zealand Rally Championship contenders.
Here she comes, turns in nicely. Good speed. Emma's definitely getting some confidence back, which is great.
Still quite a bit straighter into the apex than the previous cars, which is probably more of Emma's driving style.
It's very straight in that. A little bit wide on the exit. Look at that. She's in the rough. Ooh, yeah, just got away with it in the end there. That narrows up. You can't really tell from the camera angle, but she was pretty close to the drain there.
Just had to go for a second stab.
She did.
There was a little bit of understeer in there.
Yeah. I wonder if she's got a problem in the car, because that is kind of a little bit unusual for Emma to get the corner that wrong. I mean, it is a tricky corner, having done it a few times myself. You've got to get it in early enough to get that exit speed.
So next up should be Zeal Jones. We, of course, haven't had a glimpse of Zeal today.
No.
Stunning stage time, first time out.
Second quickest, on stage 1 is impressive. I mean, I know Hayden was a little bit further down the road, but to be comparing yourself to Hayden's a pretty big ask. Fantastic to beat Ben. Ben's one fault, and we've spoken about this a few times, is Ben likes a little sleep in, but he didn't sleep in too long, thank goodness. But Zeal straight on it, and that bodes really well for him in the future, because you do have to wake up and have your 14-shot latte like Sebastian Loeb does, and then you're straight on the pace. But very impressed with Zeal's speed. That car, look, it's an R5, it's a good car, but it's an older car. And I know Zeal's kind of in that cautious state of mind where he doesn't want to damage the car because they can't really afford a full rebuild. But just goes to show he's definitely got some talent.
Yeah, and very, very lucky. Minimal damage.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Just a sort of an accident that covered off 2 or 3 corners, really.
Yeah.
Tagged a bank and then sort of ended up parked in some trees 2 or 3 corners later, as we see young Zeal Jones.
Yeah, nicely over. Good angle.
Yeah. You
can't quite see that corner, but here he comes over the crest. And there he is, nicely over the crest. Couple of stabs of the brakes. In. Ooh, good middle corner speed there. Nice cut. See how he cut that quite early? And he's quite nice and narrow up.
Yeah, nice and...
That was really nicely done, Zeal. Beautiful driving.
Very straight through the exit of the corner.
Yep, so he gets that power down straight away. Where you saw Emma just couldn't get that power down because she just had the tail out in that rough stuff and the loose gravel. That was a beautiful line there by Zeal, showing his talent.
So when you see, as we saw him having a bit of a stab at the brakes there, and is that a little bit of a case of you trying it and seeing what grip you've got and how you know.
Yeah, look, sometimes you get a bit of knock-off, you know, because he hasn't touched the brakes. You'd only have a little tap for that left-hander up there, and sometimes you're going fast over that crest, and you know you're coming up on a tight corner. So sometimes it's almost a security brake, just to make sure it's still there, and testing the grip, because it's downhill. Downhill braking is always hard, and you're wondering, you know, is the grip different than what it was this morning? And of course it is. There's a lot less gravel on the stage, so it's kind of a little bit of that. He might have put the brake on a teeny bit too early. Wind's just coming up a bit here, but it's beautiful conditions for rallying, nice and cool. The dust is not too bad, which is great. The drivers definitely won't have to worry about it. Have we got any times anywhere, team?
So we will get some times as we wait for our Indonesian visitors, Rehan's Veriza. So Rehan's over here, his second visit to New Zealand. Had a very short-lived Rally of New Zealand expedition in the car that Mike Young's actually driving this weekend.
That's right.
Leased this car from Todd Borden. Unfortunately had a gearbox failure. They put a spare gearbox in the car for this afternoon, but he has signalled his intent to be here for the full Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship in 2025.
That's absolutely awesome. So I have just got a time through. Hayden obviously threw in a 9:54. Ben 14.9 off him with a 10:09. So just under a second a K. You know, that's kind of what's been happening. Ben would probably be playing a little bit safe, I think. Doesn't need to win the rally.
No, he's definitely in a play it smart. He, you know, at the end of the day, yes, a rally win would be fantastic, but I think anyone would take a championship over a rally win
100%,
any day.
And Benny's won plenty of rallies, so and you know, anything you get against Hayden, you're pretty blooming happy, aren't you?
Absolutely. So if he can pull off that championship victory, he will join the likes of Joe McAndrew,
awesome,
Neil Allport, Tony Teasdale on 3 championships.
All big names.
Only really behind Hayden, Richard Mason and Bruce Herbert.
Wow. Yeah, big names. And of course Benny's still pretty young.
Yep.
Think he can get to 5. Not children. If you're listening, Emma, not children. Championships.
This is a wee bit of a...
Yeah, a little bit of a gap there.
Which is... we'll see if we can figure out. Could be that... So Jack Hawkswood was ahead of him on the road. Unfortunately, Jack's had a gearbox issue that parked him up at the start of stage 6.
So got a time through from Mike Young, who's blistering pace actually. He has done a 10:03, so dropping it to under a second a K, which is awesome, only 9 seconds behind Hayden. So Mikey did look quick here, he looked nice and fast.
So we'll go to a replay.
That's Emma.
That's Emma Gilmour.
You see what I mean, how wide she is there?
Yep.
Yeah, just in the loosen now. See how narrow it is on the left-hand side there? There's a big drain there that you can't see. I mean, Emma wouldn't have been worried, but it was pretty close. But it just goes to show. So I think she turned in a bit early. I can't honestly remember. But if you turn in too early, it narrows the exit of the corner because it's a very long corner.
Yes, and it does tighten up towards the end too. So you've got to leave yourself that little bit of wiggle room to turn the car.
Exactly. Absolutely beautiful skills, though. She still kept up it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I still spoken. Well, I won't speak for you, but I'm certainly not going to speak like I could do it any better myself.
Mate, I've missed plenty of apexes. That was pretty golden. I've been a lot wider on this corner a few times. Because the problem is you come over that crest, you see everyone, and you want to ham it up for the crowd.
So this is Rehan's Veriza. Mohammed Farizi Fad.
A little bit narrow on that crest. Let's see how his line's going to turn out.
So
Eight on the brakes.
He is the current Indonesian rally champion. A little bit wide of the apex there.
Nice exit though.
Yeah, nice and smooth, wasn't he?
Yeah, little left foot coming into that last corner. You can't quite see that next corner on camera, but it's a left-hander. It's got a speedway style slope to it, I tell you. It's a real tight corner, probably almost a 3. which is like a 90 degrees corner, if you can imagine that, in your head. But quite unnerving too, because there's a really big drop off it, and like your third or fourth gear out of that corner. So, yeah, awesome setup. I thought he did that pretty nicely.
Yeah, very nice
and tidy.
Nice and tidy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. So time through from Emma. She did pretty much the same time as Benny Boy.
Yeah, 0.3 of a second apart.
Yep, nicely done. So Emma's definitely got the confidence back, which is fantastic. And whereabouts is Emma lying in the rally? Fourth, is she?
So that, puts her... She's fourth in the NZRC.
Right, sorry. Yep.
Obviously, we got Mike Young in there as a Asia Pacific competitor as well. So.
Yeah, that's right, for the stage.
Just to confuse everyone at home.
Yeah, so Dylan Thompson's still third, Emma fourth, yeah? Is that the way it goes?
Yep, correct, obviously. So that gap was 32 seconds, I think, coming into this stage. Yeah, 32 seconds. And Hayden McKenzie just 1/10 of a second behind Emma, so...
Hayden's going great. I mean, like we said in that first cross, Hayden's had a few dramas, but to be driving this fast with those crashes, well, I've got to take my hat off, because I know crashes slow me down.
He ended up with the steering wheel got ripped out of his hand when he damaged the suspension passing Rahan's this morning.
Jeez.
So ended up with an ice pack on the hands.
Oh no.
So this is Tim Mackesy, the first of our two-wheel drive cars. Tim and Lauren, the husband and wife team.
Beautifully through that sweeping corner, coming up to the crest.
A little Rally 4 Fiesta, and they
over the crest. Big revs, nice late brake. Oi, nice Scandi in. Geez, that's good speed too. Just a little bit wide, but cleaned it up nicely.
Yeah, got it through to that second apex just beautifully, and it's nicely done from Tim. He's really getting the hang of that new car.
Definitely is. Carrying good corner speed, flat over that crest. Nice brave late brake, but a tidy late brake.
It was, and it was a confident late. There was not that searching for grip, was there? It was just one solid application.
Stab.
So he's actually sitting second in the NZRC two-wheel drive class, just 5.8 seconds ahead of Jack Stokes, so there's a fair battle going on there. Bryn Jones leading that class, fantastic effort.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Jack a little bit late out of service. It broke a gear lever this morning.
Yeah, we saw them welding it up, didn't we? And boy, that team was going. I've never seen a team run. My boys never used to run.
don't think you'll catch me doing it.
No.
I think you're just impressed enough that I came for a walk up to the top of the crest with you.
I was, mate. Yeah, it's good 80 metres from here. So.
Yeah, exactly. And then you didn't even give me a beer when we got there.
No, sorry, mate.
Yeah. We've also got Naveen Paligala in that class, sitting in fourth, but great to have the Indian driver as part of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. Bit of a battle in the open two-wheel drive class with Dave Strong just 17.5 seconds ahead of Willie Hawes. The Historics currently go in the way of Anthony and Zoe Jones, ahead of Paul Fraser with Mark Parsons alongside. Unfortunately, we have lost Mike and Helen Cameron with a mechanical issue touring to stage 6, so that's a shame. That's a shame. They've been reliable all season, but
hopefully they can get back maybe this afternoon and get to do Powie.
Yeah.
We've got to be in the commentary box.
Yeah.
If we can call it a commentary box.
Yeah. The front seat of the Volt Mobile bloody live stream.
Sorry, we're just reading an update.
Yeah, so just hearing that there was an assessed time for Hayden McKenzie after he caught Breezer. So this is Takahashi.
Takahashi, beautiful.
The Japanese driver.
Got it in the end, though. Got it nicely tucked in the end.
Yes, so he's part of the Rally Art organisation this weekend with Brian Green as well.
They've got a full team, haven't they? They've got
the United Nations, because of course Eugene and Philippe.
New Caledonians. What would you call Greenie? Definitely Kiwi.
Mogul.
Mogul. You call Greenie Sir. We do anyway.
Yes, and anything else with that, sir.
Pretty much. Brian Green Property Groups, of course, one of our fantastic sponsors. MRF Tyres. I mean, the tyre wear has not been as much, I believe. Be interested to get some of the drivers' feedback tonight when we go and see them. Then, of course, you've got Omega Rentals and Cream Insurance.
Yep.
And a big thanks to Mitre 10 Mega. I believe Mitre 10 Mega Whangarei have my car on display this afternoon, so if you do get a chance to go down there, feel free. Ask Simon if you can have a sit in it. Probably can't start it up. not so keen on that, but you're welcome to have a good look at it, take some photos.
Can I have a sit in it?
Yeah, you could. Well, yeah. The steering wheel comes off, mate. Like, anyone can get in there, BB.
Yeah.
Anyone can get in there.
I have driven it. Not very far.
I am kind of vertically challenged, though, so the seat is quite close. Did that on purpose, so Choice can't drive it.
So just looking at some of the results in the Rally Challenge four-wheel drive class, and it is Andrew Graves leading that class from Jay Piddham's. Fantastic run by Jay. Unfortunately, we lost Caleb McDonald with a gearbox failure at the start of Special Stage 6.
That's a shame.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Jay with his hands full, though. Gavin Feast just 12 seconds behind him, and Carter Strang 22 seconds further back from there. Then through to James McDonald, Julian Longley, and the man himself, Brian Green.
How close is that? Go Greenie.
Go Greenie. The man, the myth, the legend. Jared Parker leading the Rally Challenge two-wheel drive class. And by securing the power stage, as we see Naveen Poligala
coming up to the crest. And yeah, good speed over the crest, nice and straight. A little dab of the brakes, you know, I mean, that's not to be expected. It's quite, you're carrying a lot more speed than you expect down there. But he's nice and tidy through the corner, nice and straight on that exit.
What would you be over the crest there? And the top goes to be 130, 140 kilometres an hour?
At least, yeah. I mean, that's a 6 left, that corner up there. Well cambered, so you can carry a lot. You're still probably 4th or 5th gear. You know, you have a dab of the brakes after the second crest. And then, yeah, you're probably at least 140, 150. And it's steeper than what you think. It doesn't look steep on the camera. But when you're up the top there, you know, it's 80 metres before you really need to start turning in for the corner. So, and it's downhill.
It's all working against you.
It comes up quick, mate, I tell you. And like, I remember the first time I did it, I braked way too early, and then you kind of got to get back on the gas, which is a bit embarrassing. And then, of course, I've done it the opposite, where I've braked way too late and almost ended up in the red tape here.
If you do commit and you've gone in too hot, there's nowhere to go because that corner does tighten up.
It narrows up, and all you got is a bank. As soon as you see a bank, you're going to be seeing the bank.
So we've got a 5-minute safety gap here between the fields. We've got, of course, the international field for the runners in the FIA Asia Pacific Rally Championship, and this is the winner-take-all final for this event.
Fantastic. Got a time through from Zeal. Zeal was 5th quickest on 10:34, so a little bit off the pace, but he's probably just going to wind it back up. I mean, good on him. There's not much to win. He's got a huge future ahead of him, and big things happening in Japan for him.
Yeah, he's off to the final of that Toyota Gazoo Racing WRC Challenge. So taking more than 100 entrants down to 6 go to Finland.
I mean, that in itself is amazing, isn't it? I mean, good on him. It's so good. Hopefully we can get another driver into the WRC eventually. You know, I mean, Hayden's been so unlucky with his career. Should have been a WRC driver. I think he's still fast enough to be a WRC driver.
There's lots of people that think that, and you know, I guess we just need to recognise and admire the privilege of actually having someone of that calibre.
Yeah, in our field.
Yeah, it's so Rahan's through. Just over 40 seconds off Zeal's time. For Zeal, I think a push through the power stage to get some of those bonus points, but can't score any day points, can't score any...
No, not too much to play for. I mean, he'll just be going for miles now and maybe doing a bit of testing. You know, it's disappointing when you go off, but it's good when you go off trying. You know, nothing worse than when you're having an average day and you kind of go off, but when you're having a great day and you go off, it feels so much better. Sounds cliche, I know, but yeah, you'd much rather not die knowing.
So we'll go to a replay here.
Oh, just beautiful. I mean, Hayden was wide as well, wasn't he? But just the amount of speed he carries. See, Ben a lot straighter in the rear there, you can see that. And Ben carries more he can get up and quicker. Mikey Young, oh, that was nice too. Good traction down. Emma, you watch how sideways she is. So see, she misses the apex, gets the second one, but well wide.
And then, as you say, out in that loose.
Out in that loose, almost has to lift. Zeal looks good. I like Zeal's line. He probably had the nicest cut of the whole lot.
As we see Dylan Thompson as we watch Rahans through our shot as well. But
Dylan's just coming into picture for us, not for you.
Yeah, as we see Tim and Lauren Mackesy. I think we'll cut to...
So Dylan's over the crest into the 6 left. Nicely done, just a little lift.
Man, he's been
super
very
committed.
impressive,
That's
isn't he?
fast. Yeah, that's awesome. Beautiful line. Couple of stabs on the brakes. Little Scandi in. Ooh, teeny bit wide. Bang. No, nicely done.
He
trimmed
got it
up
into
well.
that second apex nicely, didn't he?
He would have had to have had a second tap of the brakes there, though, to pull it in, which is you don't lose a second, but you lose a millisecond.
Didn't look like he had a pile of confidence in the brakes on the car. There was a lot of stabby sort of...
Yeah, I tend to agree. And I mean, you wouldn't think you'd have any brake issues because it's been all uphill from the beginning, so you're not going to have, a long pedal or anything, so it's a bit unusual.
It is a new car to Dylan. So he literally drove it for the first time on Wednesday at the test. So
it would be a heavier car than what he's used to. Those cars drive quite heavy, like an old production car. They're heavy compared to what he's used to. Don't quite have that rotation in the rear. You've got to drive just fully committed in a four-wheel drive car,
Well, it's not as heavy as he thought because he took it to scrutineering, and normally the service crews take the car to scrutineering, but Dylan took it on Thursday night, and he put it on the scales, and he said, "Man, it's." And then he turned around and opened the door, and it still had all their helmets and overalls and all the things that you normally take out before they go on the scales.
When he weighed it.
So he copped a little bit of
flack for that, I bet you.
Yes, sympathetic abuse.
Yeah.
It's probably the best description of it, but,
I mean, longer car than what he's used to, too, so that trailing wheelbase straightens the car up, so you just don't quite get that rotation that you do in a shorter car.
I mean, how many of the superstars of our sport have we seen come through that sort of Fiesta platform?
Oh, and that's it, I mean, if I could have my career again, I would have started off in a two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive car.
So we see our Rally Challenge and Group A Challenge leader, Hayden Graves.
Beautiful.
The man,
nice
the myth, the legend.
Crest. Yeah,
laid on the
look
brakes.
how straight he is, too. Oh, no understeering that at all.
No, just tucked it around
nicely. Yeah, it makes it look easy. And it's not easy in an Evo 3, it really isn't. The technology, it's tidy as anything. Definitely got bags of power.
I just couldn't believe how late he was on the outside of Hayden. He's probably the latest breaker.
Yeah, and straight too. Didn't Scandi, didn't have to get the nose in.
No. Very impressive.
Well, that's confidence. The car's going to understeer for that initial second, but that's knowing your car and knowing your ability, trusting your MRF tyres.
So we'll go to a replay of that.
Replay. Look at that. Jeez, beautiful. Had to straighten a teeny bit.
Yeah, just caught that inside.
Yeah, just inside. But tidy as anything.
So straight through that final apex, wasn't he?
He actually almost over-rotated it, really. Didn't need to.
Thompson split through, puts him about 5 seconds off Ben Hunt, 6 seconds off Emma Gilmour, couple of 2 and a bit seconds up on Zeal Jones, but it's the one to Emma he'll be watching, that margin 32 seconds.
That's pretty close. Be interesting to see. I thought he looked really good, really fast. Well, if you're in the Whangarei area, don't forget Pauи Island starts in a couple of hours. Plenty to do down there, plenty to see. Cars will be in service, I don't know, probably in about the next 45 minutes. You can go up and see the drivers, ask them some questions. They're all pretty nice people. They'll talk to you.
Great facility to watch rallying in the middle of town, isn't it? It's got jumps, it's got some sideways. It really gives you a bit of a taste of it without having to venture out into the depths of the back blocks.
Where we are.
So we see Stuart Reid, Bella Haggerty, Mitsubishi Mirage AP4. It was great to have Stewie, our regular Australian visitor.
He's a bit narrow there, isn't he? Another couple of pops on the brake.
Used quite a bit of the...
A little bit wide. Oh, nicely done, though. Trims it up nicely.
Yeah, really tipped the front of the car over the crown in the road before the turn-in, didn't he?
I think it looks a bit soft, that car in the front. But, I mean, that might be the way they set it up to get that transition happening. So the firmer you can get the front, the better off you are in an AP4. But it gives you a lot more confidence if you get that transfer of weight. So that's kind of the trade-off why you
under braking
that.
Just gives you the car just plants all the weight on the nose and stops.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I say, the firmer you can get it, the better it actually is. It feels not as grippy, but it is a lot better if you can get it firmer. Hayden taught me that when he firmed my car up a couple of years ago.
This will be Hayden McKenzie.
I've been very impressed with his speed all weekend.
Just hearing in the background, but yeah, very, very impressive. Just a tenth of a second behind Emma Gilmour, so we'll follow that one with intrigue.
Yeah. Did we find out how Dylan Thompson did time-wise?
He's still in the stage.
Oh, he's still in the stage.
He's the second split 17.8 down, so about 6.5 seconds. That's where Zeal's lost a lot of his time.
It's the second split.
It's the second split, lost about 20 seconds there.
Because he looked alright through here. I didn't think he was that far off the pace.
Yeah, but now we'll see Hayden and Kieran Anstis, the Albany Toyota Yaris AP4 car with the 3-cylinder GR Yaris engine. That distinctive note.
That was cool. Good speed. Oh, that's a great line.
Nicely done.
He's looking really, really strong. I mean, he will be getting a little bit of road sweeping, but not so much on the second passes. So, I mean, that's an impressive line. You can see where his times are coming from.
Again, deep on the brakes, wasn't he?
I thought so, yeah. And, like, just a great line. Just had it hooked up in the grippy stuff. Nice late, but tidy late. And as Scapey was saying, oh, he's fully sideways there.
So I think we've got a replay of that one as well.
Here we go. Now that is sideways, mate.
Right out sideways.
Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful line.
It's actually not that sideways, was it?
It was
touch a lock, always positive lock, not opposite lock.
Yeah, like he got it perfect. Absolutely perfect. As close to Hayden's line probably as anybody's. I thought that was pretty good, pretty classy. I'd have taken that. Yeah, happily. Yeah. I'd have been like 40 inches outwards. Having to lift.
That's what you call an apex still.
Yeah. I did get one or two of them. Just the camera's never around when I hit the apex.
Oh, there was that one time at Hellabridge.
Well, that one I overhit.
Yeah.
Thought I could live there.
Just seeing Stewie Reid as he triggered a hazard briefly, actually before our point here. So
it's pretty fast up the hill there. There's just a lot of 5s and 6s all the way up the hill. You've really got to carry speed. If you lift on one of those corners, by the time you get to the top, it's cost you probably 5 or 6 seconds. It's amazing actually how much time you can lose up a hill. So
nicely carded string.
Nicely over the crest, coming up to the second crest now. Nicely done, nice and straight.
It's part of that big battle for the minor spots on the podium in the Rally Challenge, and no Caleb McDonald. He's probably looking pretty strong for a second place for the year in that class, which would be not a bad result.
Pretty good going. I just love the sound of that car. I think that the deep throaty bark that it's got on the anti-lag, that's one of the coolest sounding cars we've got.
Yeah, obviously that Evo 10 is a whole different engine configuration to what the other 9 Evolutions.
Yeah, it's like I've never really ever got a replay coming up. Your beautiful tip in, right on that apex, just nice and smooth. Big old taxi got round there good.
they are a big old girl, the Evo 10, aren't they?
Yeah, I remember Stewie coming out.
Stewie Taylor.
Stewie Taylor would only drive that thing once or twice at blooming Millennia. He'd come out and he just made it look so easy in that car. Shame we don't see him around much anymore, but I'm sure he'll come back out one day.
Carter Strang probably looking fairly strong for the rookie title this year too, with Caleb McDonald retiring, so so that'll be decided at the end of the day. Some of those other ones across the one day, the gold card, it's looking like that'll go to Paul Fraser, not to put the mockers on anyone. And international drivers looking fairly strong there for Stuart Reid as well. And really Julian Longley who can challenge him there. Speaking of international, this should be Eugene Crunet, Philippe Delroux, the New Caledonian visitors in the Mitsubishi Mirage AP4.
Nicely over the crest, dips it in nicely, coming up to the second crest. Yeah, nice over there. Little lift, and I mean that's to be expected. Like I say, it's pretty fast there. Real wide.
I mean, I was trying to follow the notes in French too, to be fair.
Different entry. He was quite wide, probably the widest we've seen. Did narrow it up nicely and clip the apex.
Just great to see those guys back. Look, they you never see them without a smile on their face.
They're lovely guys. We've got a replay, have we?
Yeah, we've got a replay of that.
Here it comes in. See what I mean by how wide he is? Look at the over rotation, but then it just narrows up as the front wheels pull it out. Beautiful. I'm really loving these replays.
Yeah, nice work by the Volt team. Of course, a massive thanks too to the Brian Green Property Group, MRF Tyres, Omega Rental Cars and Cream Insurance. Can't do it without those guys.
No, definitely not. We need sponsors. Anyone wanting to spend a little bit of money, we'd love to talk to you for next year. We'd love to get a little bit more happening with the live streams. Pretty good comments from the first cross, which is good. And this is kind of the level that we want to keep it up at. So feel free to make any comments. Anyone wanting to put some sponsorship money out there, it would be greatly appreciated. Got a black Audi that could help.
You stay away from my sponsorship guys.
No, I'd never steal your sponsors.
Just getting a comment that the wind's sort of overtaking that. So apologies if the levels are just getting a little bit hard to hear. The wind is definitely getting up, which is good for the dust.
There's a drone. Surely they don't want me to talk louder.
As we see James McDonald and Josh Edwards, the H6 Impreza still looking immaculate after a massive rebuild. And a huge shout out to so many people in that Canterbury rallying community that helped make it happen.
Nicely over the crest. Look at this, just turning it in. Now nice Scandi.
Oh yes,
very Colin McRae like. Little bit of understeer, the Subi understeer, but nicely carried good speed at the end. Little lift for that left-hander. It's tricky, that left-hander.
So those H6s, they're a great entry-level four-wheel drive, relatively cost-effective option. You know, they're not not overpowered. They're not underpowered, but they're not blessed with bags of horsepower. But with that comes a lot less wear and tear on the car. There's no turbo, and the heat that's created by a turbocharger just puts so much stress on the car.
It wears things out, especially with the boxster motor, you know. I mean, but with the motors that they run, it's very wide in the replay, you can see there. But it worked for him. Got the power down pretty quick. Cool little car, like you say. I mean, that's pretty cheap motorsport. Getting into a four-wheel drive is important. Start off into two-wheel drive, then get into something like that. You know, I mean, you can't go too much wrong, in my opinion.
No, it's a very hard point to argue, and you know you can put yourself in a car like that for probably somewhere around $300,000 cheaper than a car like say, you know, an
AP4,
AP4 R5 sort of car, you know, if not more in some examples. So, you know, fantastic cost-effective way, and James has really shown that he's maximised and mastered, you know, extracted almost as much as you can out of a car like that.
It's a cool looking car too, you know. As a sponsor you wouldn't mind. They sound good, they look good, and you know, you get a young peddler in one, and you know, they can, obviously not going to win a rally unless someone has some pretty bad luck, but you can definitely get up in the points.
So Jack Stokes on a bit of a charge back after that broken gear lever and a little bit of time lost in service, welding that up. He and Sarah Faulkner
looking fast, nicely done. Oh, great speed in the apex there. Nicely done.
But he has certainly been one of the guys to watch.
He's just got his, like, he knows that car now, you know, and I mean, I can only see if they get him up into a four-wheel drive car, it's going to be exciting. Can't wait to see that. I think, like his big brother, he will go pretty good.
And thankfully he managed to avoid the tummy bug that's been going through the team.
Yes, the instant weight loss program that they've been on, Jenny Craig sponsorship.
Going through is probably an apt choice of words, to be fair.
Yeah, poor buggers.
Just
is that?
Just horrible, isn't it?
Not much fun.
So,
have we got Dylan Thompson's time?
we must do. Apparently your mother says hi on the...
Hi Mum, how are you? Hope you're well. Got to say the old hi Mum, don't you?
Absolutely. My mum's watching too. Hello to you.
I got some stage 8 times while you're looking for Dylan Thompson's time. Hayden Paddon's through 11.10. Benny down roughly a second a K again, 18.7 behind him on 11.29. But that's pretty good news. Both of the top boys through Marlow, and now of course it's just Poey, so looking good for day points for both.
Yep, big service at the end of the day. So as we look at the times for the stage, in terms of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship, Hayden Paddon fastest through the stage, then Ben Hunt, Emma Gilmour in third, then 9.4 seconds back to Dylan Thompson, so that's a fair chunk out of that 32 second margin. So we see Bryn Jones and Sean Lockyer, and haven't they been impressive?
Yeah, Bryn Jones, awesome driving. Sounds cool, this car. Beautiful.
Really have had a bit of a wretched season, so
yeah, it's good to see him, you know, getting a good rally under the belt. You feel so much better with just even a good day. It just brings your heart back into the sport. It can be a demoralising, soul-destroying sport, and that's when it's going good. When it's going bad, when it's going bad, it's just terrible. But
there's only one winner,
and that's sadly enough. We're all used to come in second. Not really.
So we'll go to a replay of that.
Excellent. Look at that, getting the rotation happening. Yeah, just beautiful line. Carrying great corner speed there.
Just leaning on that MRF tyre and working the left front hard.
Yeah, exactly. And I tell you what, good grip in the rear too, you know.
Yeah.
And you need it in a two-wheel drive car. You need that grip in the rear. I wonder if they're on the softs or the mediums. I'm not too sure. I mean, a couple of the cars I was speaking to at service were on the softs. Like I said, it'd be interesting to see how the tyre wear's going. We'll probably give you a bit more of an update on that tomorrow. I know a few of the teams were quite nervous about it because it is a bit of an unknown quantity.
Yeah, so 6 months later in the year that we're normally here.
Yes.
The ground temperature's definitely up. You know, it's 22 degrees.
Yeah, exactly. It's warm. And we've had problems before at Whangarei for tyre wear. There was one chap a few years ago that got 6 punches from memory. So
I wonder whatever happened to that young chap.
I think he's still around.
I think he might have gone on to win 5 national championships or something like that.
Definitely no slug, was he? Brilliant driver.
So we see Gavin Feast, and he's in that big battle, 12 seconds behind Jay Pittams, who's behind him on the road.
That's nice and close.
Second in the rally challenge. So
coming to the crest now.
Gavin Maddleby pushing hard.
Nice straight off, that sounds good.
Nicely done
for the crowd. Yep. Everyone enjoyed that. That's awesome.
Yeah, not a bad crowd we got up on the bank there. It's good to see the spectators out.
Yeah.
Enjoying the action.
Not quite as many as there was here last year. I was here last year when SVG was doing the rally, and I was watching, of course, which was pretty hard. But still a great crowd this year. It's good to see.
So in terms of some of the other times through the stage, it was Dylan Thompson just ahead of Zeal Jones with 15 seconds.
But behind Emma.
So they're behind Emma. Then Hayden McKenzie, 0.4 of a second off Zeal. Andrew Graves, 4.6 back from that. And then Carter Strang. So stronger showing from Carter. 17 seconds off Andrew. Another 15 back to Eugene Crune, who was a second faster than Stuart Reid. Then back to Tim Mackesy in the two-wheel drive car, 5.5 seconds off Reid. And then Paligula. So what that means is that Going into special stage 8, it is Hayden Paddon leading. We will get you some updated times out of stage 8 as well. Ben Hunt currently second, just over 2 minutes behind. Another minute and a half back to Dylan Thompson, who's 22.6 seconds ahead of Emma Gilmour, and she holds a 25-second margin over Hayden McKenzie. Then back to Andrew Graves, Rally Challenge leader, 51 seconds off McKenzie, and just ahead of Stuart Reid, 18 seconds separating the pair, having swapped positions after Reid triggered that hazard. Carter Strang sits in there, although we expect a couple more of those Rally Challenge guys like Jay Pittams and JP Vandermees, who we see coming on screen now.
Nicely done through the sweeper, and he's coming up to the crest. Oh yeah, a different line. He's real narrow, but it worked out okay. Straight, isn't it? A little bit. Well, it's really straight. Nicely done. Got the power down quick. A little bit unusual line. We haven't really seen a narrow entry into it, and I mean it doesn't really matter too much, I guess. You still got some pretty good grip inside there, but carried good speed in the middle apex, and yeah, good exit speed.
So we'll go to a replay of that.
So see, went to get it sideways, but then it's like not really needed, and you can see the apex now is kind of where you want to be hitting it, so you get your good exit speed for the next corner.
Just leaning it again a little bit more on that left front tyre rather than sort of rotating the whole car and driving it forward,
which is very Mason like. We were speaking about him before.
Yes.
You know, Richard used to like a bit of understeer. Very unlike people like Colin McRae that like to oversteer. Yeah, but look, I mean, lots of drivers have different driving styles. Hayden's kind of a bit of both, in my opinion. You see Hayden quite often going for the rear to get the car sideways.
He's very aggressive with the turning and rotating the car early, isn't he?
And straight on the exit. And I mean, it taught me a lot of watching his driving style. And
clearly,
yeah, it shows. Well, never anywhere near his level, but you know, I mean, like I did like that turn in that he possesses, and very Colin McRae like I say. Colin was always the same, straight at the apex, straight at the exit, but massive hiff on that entry. And you know, the great thing about that, scrubs off a heck of a lot of speed.
Yep. So we see Ben Cuban now, first of our all-comers cars, and of course didn't have the magic of the MRF tyres this morning. Got a punching wheel on the MRF.
A little bit of understeer there in the front part, but just got on the gas a bit early.
Actually, you speak of Richard Mason, that is the ex-Richard Mason car.
Yeah, the yellow beast. Richard, of course, man, that car was good. That car was, well, it wasn't a car, it was Richard.
Yeah. I think it was the whole lot. It was a good car and a good driver.
It was definitely a good car. And, look, I mean, cool to see the car still going. I mean, it's an awesome car. A lot more Subarus up here than I was expecting. It's kind of traditionally Mitzi hunting ground up here, but
yes, we'll go to a replay of it.
We'll go to a replay. Nicely, and just getting that, see, very minimal rotation, nice and straight, a little bit of understeer, and then on the gas. Nice, tidy.
Job done.
Yeah, job done.
That car, of course, Jeff Ward also had a fair bit of success and won the Rally Challenger. Finished second last year to Zeal Jones in that class. So, to be fair, when you look at what Zeal's doing nowadays, you go, it's probably, you know, I'd take being second to him.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, no, Zeal's a talent. He's a great driver to come, you know, and I mean, he's still so... He's only done 4 rallies, hasn't he, in this car? This will be his 5th. You know,
sixth.
Sorry, we've got 6 rounds, yeah, of course. But that's still not a lot of driving time. You know, you do start to come on your 2nd and 3rd season in a car is when you really start to come to grips with it. So, big things I expect from Zeal.
Well, when you look at Hayden's probably done, 7 or 8 European Championship rounds in the same car.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, plus probably a bit more testing. Hayden's fairly big in the testing and research and development.
He's always driving, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
So we see Pierre-Henri Brunet, Mel Pedon from Vanuatu.
Nice line through there. I really love the colour scheme on this car.
Spectacular looking car, isn't it?
Cool car. Mal loves it too. Nicely over the crest. He's still flat, which was great. Late brake. Yeah, a little bit of understeer. You can see that coming through. It's just getting on the gas a little bit later after that transition from the braking. Kind of got the left footers. You can always tell the left footers because the car loads up a lot quicker. Where a right footer, there's that little bit of a gap between them getting the power down, and that's when you see that understeer start to come in.
And just referencing there, that's the foot you're using to use the brake pedal, so we'll go to a replay of that.
As Shane taught the Americans.
Yes.
See, the rotation starts, but then see how it understeers? Just so it understeers the front of the car, obviously wanting to push. It's just getting on the gas a little bit too late. Whether or not he didn't get on the gas hard enough, or whether or not he just, like I say, the transition between braking and acceleration was too big.
So the majority of these cars either running dog engagement gearboxes or sequential gearboxes,
yes,
which gives you that ability to not use the clutch.
Yeah, you don't need to. You can brake. I right foot, I'm not a left foot braker, but you've really got to get on that accelerator so much quicker than a left footer. Because, of course, their foot's already on the accelerator. So
yes.
As soon as that brake comes off, they're smashing that power down. Different techniques. I'm not sure which is better. There's plenty of guys in the WRC that don't left foot. However, the times that I've been with really good drivers like Hayden and Shane, the way they load the car up with the left foot braking is an impressive. They keep it on the springs, which just gives you that feeling of control.
Yep. This is Julian Longley, Fleur Pedersen. So Julian, our second Vanuatu driver. Had a bit of an issue this morning. I'm not 100% sure what, but...
nicely over the crest. Little late brake, little Scandi happening. A little bit of understeer, but that's a pretty good line.
Grabbed a gear mid-corner, so that's the joy.
Yeah.
You hear that sequential gearbox too with the flat shift and just how quick you can pull those gears through.
Yeah, so you want constant power around a corner. As soon as you lift or as soon as you dip a clutch, the car just pops up, and that's what I was talking about, riding on the springs. So when your car's fully loaded, and we've got a replay, see that bump just unsettles them a little bit every time, doesn't it?
And that's, I guess, so characteristic of the production style cars compared to the newer generation cars.
The AP4s,
and they've just got that much more suspension travel, more ability to compress the car.
That little bump that we're seeing is the dual crown of the road. So obviously we're on a Y intersection, and the corner has a crown for the way we're coming, and a crown for the other side. So that's why they're hitting that second crown, and that's just popping the car up. But of course the AP4s just have that little bit more suspension travel, and it just soaks the crown. You don't see the pop of the car.
So just in terms of the battle for the Asia Pacific Junior Rally Championship with Jack Hawkswood, missing 3 stages today. Of course, in the Asia Pacific Championship they have the ability to take like a super rally. Not quite sure what the official FIA terminology is these days. Basically a derived stage time so that they can rejoin. So both drivers have missed 3 special stages, so that could still be quite the battle between Zeal and Jack.
Yeah, I think so. We've actually got Zeal's time through on 8. He's 52 down on Hayden, 32 down on Emma, and 4th quickest time so far. Obviously a few to come though.
Yes, not sure whether that's a...
He must have a problem, I think. I don't think he would be that much slower.
Either that or he's just backed it off.
Eased off. Yeah.
There's not a lot to
play for, just running for experience and miles. He'll be back tomorrow. Rejoining's always hard, you've been in that battle and just having to refocus when there's kind of not a lot to gain, it's very hard to refocus and drive, and sometimes you can make a silly mistake because of it. So you're just best to come out after lunch and just put your head down and focus.
So it's a wee bit of Gap
Bit of
here,
a
we
gap.
should have seen Josh. That is Josh Keeley.
Josh Keeley coming through. Wow, he was sideways over the first crest, coming up to the second crest now. Nice and straight. A little break there, a bit early, and he's got back on the gas.
This is another of the 86 Imprezas, much
Nice.
like James McDonald's one we saw earlier on.
That was that crown of the road there did the wheel lift. Did you see it?
Yes, yeah, very cool.
Yeah, very cool. But that's just your suspension travel, hasn't quite got that.
While the wheel lift looks good on the cameras,
It's not fast.
it's always
Not
better when
fast.
your MRF's touching the road, isn't it?
Yeah, you want to be wearing tyres out. Here he comes in the replay. Ready, there's the wheel lift, bang, comes down. Looks cool though. Actually a really nice line in the end. Just that crown, like I say, just unsettled the car.
Just touch
Cool
that right
looking
front.
car. We've got a noisy car coming.
Yeah, this will be
BDA.
BDA, yes, good. Yes,
BDA.
Brett, should have been Brett Taylor, not quite sure what's happened there, but it's Anthony Jones, Zoe Jones.
Nicely over the crest. Look at that. Can't quite see him. He goes out of sight for us. Coming to the second crest now. Yeah, beautiful. What a noise.
Go on, tell me a better sounding rally car.
I didn't want to talk because I don't want to ruin the sound for people out there, but awesome. He had about 15 goes at that, didn't he? But it's pretty standard for a BDA. We're going to a replay. Here we go. Hopefully you can hear it. Yeah, so look at this, 15 stabs at it, but you have to do that. It's driving with the accelerator, massive speed. Narrows it up perfectly because there is a drain on the left hand side of that car. You can't quite see it because of the dust, and I mean that drain, we'll put it this way, I'd stand upright in that drain and not see over it, but for a normal person it'd be up to their knees.
Yeah, it's a solid 3 foot tall, as this is Brent Taylor, Chris Ramsey, so they've just swapped on the
swap places
on the road order.
So Brent coming into the crest now, and nicely flat over the crest, couple of brakes. Nice and straight. It's in it. Well, that's an unusual one, but I like it. It worked for him perfectly.
There wasn't really a heavy stab on the brakes, was there?
No, I think he braked quite early, and I think he had to get back on it. It is one of those corners, like I say. It because you hear, I think it's probably the note is 80 into a long four right. That nips a little at the end. You do brake a bit early for it, and then you think, oh man, I could have carried more speed. Just one of those corners. Here it comes on the replay. Yeah, there's that crown, bang, she comes down. But have a look how tight he is on that apex there. It actually ended up really nice. And then, yeah, like I said, there's that drain. Ooh, just slips with it. So it was a bit nervy.
So we see the great man himself, sir.
Mr. Green.
Brian Green. Of course.
Looking awesome round the sweeper. Coming up to the crest now. He's flat. Look at that. Good boy, Greeny.
Good co-driver, Dylan.
Yeah, Brianna's great. He's straight on the accelerator. It's beautiful. Greeny ain't a 20-year-old, but holy smoke, it's if I can drive like that, if my wife lets me drive till I'm Greeny's age, which I'm hoping is going to happen, I'd be proud to be able to say I can still do that. Flat over that crest, mate.
Do you think the fact that he's not married might be
might be the case? Jeez, don't be saying that. Here he is on the replay. Look at that, just nice and tidy. Perfect apex on the gas. Brianna will be going, watch the culvert on the outside. He's miles away from it.
She's used to sitting with you.
Oh yeah. Poor Brianna. Great co-driver, but she told me that I got her first rollover. So I'm not particularly proud of that. Choice is talking to me again.
So we see Dave Strong, Rob Scott.
Nicely done. Mr. Grey Rooter himself.
Yeah.
Way, big rev.
Lots of power.
Nice. That's a real wide line over there. I like that.
Of course, the supercharged V6 transplanted into the back of that car, rear-wheel drive.
Just amazing.
It's a Honda Jazz, but everything Honda Jazz, and it's just been removed.
I know. Absolutely. Like, it's a car that you get into the grocery store in, isn't it? I mean...
Well, maybe not that particular one.
No, not that one, but the standard one, you know, you give it to your mum. But Strongy, I managed to go for a drive with Dave Strong years ago, and he's the king of left footing, I'll tell you that for free.
I've got some, thanks.
So we see McRae Sloper. And he's another one not on the MRFs, and he was having some tyre issues this morning, wasn't he?
I sold him a set of tyres, and they're bald as anything. I felt bad. I don't think we've got him on camera.
Not
I'm
on camera.
Sure why, but nice line. Oh, we just got his dust. There we go.
There we go. Is it the BMW?
Yeah, nicely done, McRae.
Not revving it so hard this afternoon. Might be something to do with trying to keep some tyres on it.
Keep some tyres on it. Obviously won't say the brand of tyres, but not hanging in there as good as the MRS.
Exactly.
And they were extra hards too, so I told him the warranty was out. Now he wants to know where my little Audi is, because I think he wants to whip the 4 tyres off it.
So he's certainly charging on pretty hard there. So now we're into the minute gaps. Things will start happening a bit quicker. So this is Ant Torito and Blair Howlett that we can see coming into view. Hopefully the cameras are
are on the right. Oh, yeah, there we go. Perfect.
I think Dan
coming
heard
up to the crest. Nicely done over the crest. Oh, nice little chuck it sideways, as Scapey would say. And that was the widest entry of the lot. Turned perfect in the end, though.
Nice cool example of how to drive a front-wheel drive rally car.
And that's it. You've got to use all of the road. Cool little car, though. Uses the momentum, the downhill to get the turn-in to happen. Gets on the power nice and early. And that was a demonstration. Here we go. Here he comes now. Beautiful replay. Look at that. That's impressive. Good driving. Pretty cheap car, but, you know, heck of a lot of fun. You know,
well, I think it started out as a cheap car.
Well, I mean, any car's expensive, but
sequential gearboxes and the like now, and
yeah, true.
Yeah. So
cheap compared to an AP4, mate.
Yeah.
Or an R5.
So this is Willie Hawes and Jason Dwyer. And they're quite close to Dave Strong, Rob Scott. Only 17 seconds coming into the stage.
Second crest, flat over it, a little bit narrow, little dip of the brakes there.
Willie didn't do recce for this event, so just running on the straight gem of safety notes.
Oh, actually, a really good line in the end.
That's nicely done, wasn't it?
A little bit wide though on the exit. But, you know, that's probably the deepest we've seen anyone on that apex. And getting a nice straight line coming out. Like I say, you can overcut a corner and it gives you a great line for that corner. Here's the replay of it. So he turns it in. Oh, he
just lifts that wheel.
Did he have a brake on there? It's a really nice line. I'll give him that. That's probably the line of the day for me. Nice and wide in that ditch.
Yeah, fantastic job. And it's been great to see Willie in his rookie campaign.
Yeah, awesome driving.
So we see Jared Parker and Darren Galbraith owes this man a beer after he won the power stage.
Up to the crest, nicely done.
Tonight, Kyle Percival, that third in the championship.
It's the golf colours too, I'm sorry. I called it gull. Silly boy.
So
nicely
close.
Done, nice and tidy. Go the Corolla. Excellent, nice and tidy. Can't complain about that.
Yeah, so we saw him this morning. He had issues with brake knockoff and then heat that damaged a wheel bearing, so the crew worked pretty hard. Didn't get their sandwiches at lunch.
Here we go, replay of it. And nice and tight. Yeah, look at that. That's how you drive. You know, if you want to keep your corner speed, just keep it nice and leave the big Scandi flicks for Hollywood. Or for Hawkswood.
Yes. Turner.
Yeah, Turner. Actually, I'll tell you what, Rana was the best through here last year. We missed you, Rana, but Rana on that sweeper corner almost looked like he was lifting a wheel. It was so impressive. The first of our MR2s.
Yeah, Rodney James, Adam Miller.
Rodney's been going so good. I've actually been really impressed with these cars and his driving. Nicely over the crest.
Yeah, quite wide over the crest, as you sort of alluded to.
Something wrong with the rear? Oh no, it's just the mud flap. He's got a puncher, has he? Something wrong with the left rear there. I'm pretty sure he's got a puncher. We'll see on the replay.
Hopefully. No pressure, Dan. So we'll have a look.
Yeah, he's got a puncher. That's great camera work to get in that close.
Fantastic camera work.
Holy smoke. Yeah, so he's got a left rear puncher. And that's a shame because, gosh, he's only 4Ks into the stage, I think, here. So, this is Jeff Talkington.
Yeah, Jeff Talkington chasing him down. Natasha Sabritsky.
He's going to catch him.
Yeah, I mean, at this sort of stage, it's
Long
probably...
way to go.
Yeah, Rodney will be starting to feel that. It's not entirely off the rim.
No.
But you'll be...
Nice and tidy, Jeff.
Yeah, nice and tidy from Jeff there. But a few less heroics than we saw this morning.
Yeah, those boys were on it this morning, weren't they? Through the cattle yards and the railway corner there.
Well,
they were going good.
We went and had a look at the marks on the way out, and he was well and truly climbing up a near vertical bank.
We should have taken some photos of it because it was here's a replay. Nice and tidy, nice and straight. No heroics, like you say. They've settled in nicely.
For Rodney, you're talking another 10, 12 kilometres. He's probably just starting to notice because you could see it still had some air. It hadn't come off the bead.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets worse. I mean, once the tyre starts to delaminate and split, which it will, because how many Ks has he got to go?
About another 12 Ks, I reckon.
Right on the limit, and it's a rear-wheel drive car, isn't it?
Yes.
So, yeah. I think he might have to change. He probably won't change it. He probably should. But he would have been a good spot too.
Yes.
Perfect. We'd have got out and helped you. Not really.
We would have sent Daz.
Yeah.
So we see George Feast, Hamish Feast, the brothers.
Boys having fun, the brothers, coming up to the crest. And nicely over the crest.
Not sure what will make Dad happier, the fact that he's going really, really well in the Rally Challenge class, or the fact that the boys are still going.
Yeah. Beautiful little Subi. Nicely driven. Sounds cool, that Subi.
It does. It's got that throaty roar, doesn't it?
Yep. The big, like a 3-inch pipe, I'm sure.
So, Jay Pittams took another 3 seconds out of Gavin Feast in that battle for second. So 15 seconds, you'd think that should be enough for Jay Pittams to secure second in that class for the day with just the 2 passes of Poe Island to go. But rallying's a funny sport. There's that old saying about a super special stage. You can't win a rally on them, but you can definitely lose them.
A lot of risk in Poe, definitely. A lot can go wrong in that stage.
So, Adrian Sutton and Stephen Dill, the little Nissan Pulsar.
Nicely over the crest. Downhill into the brakes. Nice and tidy. On the gas early. Yeah, nice. Well done, boys.
Getting it done.
Toot. So we've got some more results from Marlow. So like we say, it was Hayden first, Ben second, Dylan Thompson in third. Still only pipped Emma. Then you got Andrew Graves, fantastic run from him, Zeal. And that's your top 6. Heading to Poe.
Still waiting on the time of Hayden McKenzie because he should slot in front of Graves.
I think he will, yep.
So we see Kyle Percival, Chris Alexander, the Whole Bay Escort.
They had a few issues, didn't they?
They did. They'd broken a link arm, and he's quite quick in that. No, gets it all together. Well done. Good lad.
A little bit wide, but I mean, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, broke a bolt in one of the top link arms, so the rear differential in those cars is held in by some solid bars.
Yeah, and that would have been moving around and not too good for the confidence. Anything in the rear of an Escort's not good. They move around already.
Fantastic cars, I tell you, the balance of them.
They are. They were a freak car, really. But a little bit like the Starlet. I reckon that's an underrated car that, you get a good driver in one of those. They're pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, you look at, the Escort's still probably the rear-wheel drive benchmark 45 years later, isn't it?
And, just the right geometry, obviously, the perfect balance of width and length. And, rear-wheel drive, so easy to drive once you begin. We've got some results up on the screen there.
So we see we're about to see Nick Flanagan, so we'll come back to those results.
And
Tristan Lee's Baker.
Nicely over the crest, coming in. Nice little late break.
Peugeot 205.
I was going to say Starlet, but it's a Peugeot, isn't it? I called it a Starlet last one. Nicely done. Drove nicely through. We're maybe going to get those results back up. Yeah, there you go. So Hayden Paddon so far, obviously Ben Hunt 2 minutes 27 seconds behind. Dylan Thompson 4 minutes behind. Emma Gilmour still 4 minutes in fourth. Hayden McKenzie, Andrew Graves, and Stuart Reid and Tim back on 11:27. So still got Poe to go twice round Poe.
Yeah, two laps of Poe, so that those times will update as well. So those are the cars that have completed
so far
Special Stage 8, and obviously with the split field that will update itself. But you can keep an eye on www.chrissport.co.nz. Fantastic results service that we have in this country. It really is.
It is
groundbreaking, isn't it?
Chris does a great job, and Hayden McKenzie has slotted into 6th, so he's just in front of Zeal and behind Andrew Graves, so he's in 5th place overall. So fantastic,
solid day's work for him.
I reckon that's pretty good. Still incredible, Dougie in that holder car to be holding down 6th place. That's just phenomenal. Head of Stuart Reid in an AP4. He's no slug.
So I believe we might be waiting for one more car. Kanishi-san, Kamito Kondo, the Suzuki Swift.
A little Swift coming up the hill. Takes a bit of time up that hill.
So while they come into view, we'll take the opportunity to thank the Brian Green Property Group, MRF Tyres, Omega Rental Cars, Cream Insurance, the sponsors of the New Zealand Rally Championship. Of course, Paul Fraser. So he's dropped back a little bit, but he will be
in the Escort.
Our last car, I believe.
Nicely over the crest. This is a cool car. If you get a chance to see this in service, it's worth a look.
And he will be, with Mike Cameron's retirement confirmed, as the historic champion for 2024.
Wow, that's impressive.
So
awesome.
Very cool to see that car. All right, that's where we're going to wrap up the live stream. A massive thank you for tuning in, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the action. Don't forget to join us tomorrow. Oh, sorry, there is one more car coming.
One more. Pat Norris.
Pat Norris, yes, of course. Our Rally Challenge two-wheel drive car.
Yeah, how could we forget
that? Toyota Vitz.
Cool little car, this. Got all the gear, definitely, and Pat can definitely pedal it.
Yeah, so he's sitting second in that Rally Challenge two-wheel drive class. But, some of the big long straights, not really what you want in a 1300 car.
Sounds like it's doing like 150 pinned.
Yeah, 101.
Yeah, 102.
102. Count them down.
Straight over the crest, nice and flat. He'll be braking on Tuesday. Nicely done. And nice and tight. Yeah, well done. Good speed. Still faster than Simon Bell.
Absolutely. So, massive thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget, tune in 3 special stages tomorrow, starting with special stage 12 Waiatera. So we will catch you then.
See you later. Thank you very much.